my friends and I came out from Colorado to Los Angeles, and it's really, the whole film's a metaphor for sort of the Midwestern people ending up in LA, and so we have the supreme Midwest person, a Mormon from Utah, in the LA business, which we then made into the porno business, because to us, it's just like the craziness of that world, of the porno world, is so much like the Hollywood world, and that's really what we just thought it'd be really fun to we wanted to relate sort of our story of sort of not innocence but naive people suddenly dropped into Hollywood, but that had been done so many times that, you know, in the vein of comedy, we pushed everything to the extreme and made it, instead of Hollywood, made it a porno and made him a Mormon, and that was basically it. Very much so. I think it very much so it does, and it does in that the fact that this pornographic world to me represents the Hollywood world, and when we got into researching and really sort of got to know the pornographic world, and there were a lot of people saying, oh, don't get involved with that, there's so many sleazy people, you'll get so, we found out that really they're not half as sleazy as the Hollywood people. You know, the porn people were all just kind of nice people that hung out. You know, the only people that were sort of out to get us were the people at the big studios and stuff. So it really is a metaphor for just coming to Hollywood.
Well, Trey, the director and writer, well, I met Trey about 5 years ago, and we've been working ever since. So he wrote this script on while we were actually doing our first feature, which we did when we were in college. Trey was writing this on the side, and ever since we came out to Hollywood, we've been trying to sell it. So that's where I've gotten involved, is from that, from the very inception of it, from the script writing process. We probably pitched it the first time probably 2.5 or 3 years ago, and went all around went all around town to I mean, I remember going to TriStar. That was one meeting in particular. Like all these places that William Morris would send us with this script that was like they would never do, but it was kind of like the round around town kind of thing, you know, of like all the friendly meetings and stuff. And so they sent us like these places like TriStar and Caravan. I remember going to Caravan too, pictures and stuff, and they'd all just sit there, and I'd sit there with Trey and Jason, and Trey would just be pitching it, and he'd be, you know, really getting into it, because this is like Trey's baby. And he'd be getting into it and telling about, you know, this is the story, and this is what happens, and it's this crazy stuff, and all this stuff. And the people on the other side of the desk were just like, just blank. I mean, they just like, there wasn't anything coming from Trey's mouth that was like getting into their brain at all. And it just was like complete stone face, and they, you know, okay, goodbye, and then we'd walk out. So it's been definitely like, before we met Fran, and actually this project started becoming more real, it was a long haul. We knew it would be, but, you know, we were about ready to go raise the money ourselves, you know, just absolutely go literally door to door. This was the movie we always wanted to just make, no matter how it got made, so we're pretty happy. It's definitely a demented picture, but it's not demented in an evil way, you know, or there's nothing, even though the subject matter is about the adult film industry, there's no judgment made upon that industry, and it's surprisingly a very innocent and sweet examination of a totally demented and weird business, you know, and situation. So, although what it's about may seem really raw and twisted and whatever, the way we approach it is so lighthearted that you can't, you know, you just can't do anything but laugh. So that's the basic point, is not to expose anything or whatever. It's just simply to laugh at, you know, this completely comical situation, a Mormon in porno. So.
Very kind of non-reality based person, very eccentric, goofy, mad scientist, well, not a mad scientist, sort of a eccentric sex maniac, I guess is the best way to put it, who wants to be a superhero more than anything, I guess.
The three of us went to school together, and the way we started was just by doing, you know, small projects, 5-minute movies, and we'd crew on each other's films and act in each other's films and, you know, write and sort of, you know, do the whole process together. And the way the three of us really came together is through the making of Alfred Packer the Musical, which is now titled Cannibal the Musical. That's sort of where all the groundwork was laid down.
I play Safi, who is an adult film star. And I think the reason that she appealed to me is that, at least in my mind, she was much deeper than just in the movie, within the movie. So she has experiences and attitudes outside of just being the porn star. So I think she's a very strong woman, and she's obviously been in the business for a while and is okay with it and is smart enough to, people like Orbison thinks he's always playing her, but when really she's playing him. And she always gets her way, and she always is the star, and, you know, she's a very intelligent woman.